Welcome, lovers and friends, alchemical creatives and healers. My name is Natalie Moss, and I am an intuitive tarot reader. I'm a human design analyst. I'm a studying interior designer. I am a musician and a songwriter and a singer, and a general mystic, practicing mystic. So we're going to do a bit of a tarot reading from the She-Wolf tarot deck today, and I'll talk briefly about the energies of the now in human design terms. So the sun has just entered gate 38, which is the gate of the fighter. So it's New Year's Eve here in Sydney, Australia, and we have a lot of celebrations on New Year's Eve. We're one of the first countries or cities to celebrate the change into a new year. And this energy of the fighter, the sun going into this gate, it's the energy of struggling and stubbornness. It's the energy to fight for what you believe in, to fight for a good cause, to fight for something worth fighting for. And the opposite that, so where the sun is in 38, the earth is transiting through gate 39, which is the provocateur, which is also about knowing when to engage in conflict or when to retreat. So it does have the energy of retreat or avoidance of conflict at this particular time on this day, transiting on New Year's Eve. So the energy of the collective is going to pick up on this fight energy and this provocation energy. So it could be quite a spicy time on New Year's Eve. So there's an echidna. Okay, I was hearing rustling and I'm getting chills because I never see echidnas. And when I was walking to come to this spot, I stopped because I could hear this rustling. I don't know if it's the same echidna, because that was on the other side of the path. This echidna would have to have crossed the path and come down here to be the same one. This is very interesting. I'll see if I can get a shot. I'm gonna I'm just thinking about whether it's worth getting a shot. I don't know if you've ever seen a picture of an echidna. I was just contemplating whether the echidna could be an interesting... I was contemplating if the echidna could be like a power animal or a spirit animal for me, since I've been talking a lot about shamanic work and the shamanic journeying with friends. And I just walked straight into the path of this echidna. Wow. I'll see if I can get it on film. Hold on. There he is. Hey, beautiful. I wonder how close I could get. It doesn't seem bothered by my talking. Okay, so hopefully, if I've been bothered, I would have spliced in the echidna footage. That is so cool. 9 of Cups coming out as energy. Wow, so the 9 of Cups, we're really getting to this point of emotional fulfillment. We're really feeling the fullness of our cups. And this is really the self-fulfilled cup. This is, we've generated the energy of this Nine of Cups within ourselves. So there's a cultivation here of inner peace. So what gives us our inner peace? What gives us? And this reminds me very much of the Star card too. And it does remind me, yeah, it is kind of wish fulfillment as well. What is it that we have cultivated for ourselves that helps us fill our cup up? What is that seed, that nugget, that star of truth for us, which orients us, not only orients us, but that we wish for and we manifest into the world? I've been reading lately, he's actually coming back, the echidna is coming back this way. Little dude, come here, friend. Oh my God. I love him. Stay in focus, Nat. Nine of Cups. It's about that thing, that seed, that hope, that dream that keeps us full and fulfilled in its quest. It's not the destination, it's the journey. So the journey towards the wish, towards your desire, needs to be in alignment, which means we don't do things we don't want to do in order to get to something on the other side, which we think we want, and that we think we have to do X, Y, Z. And if that X, Y, Z to get us to that dream or to that desired destination is actually something that we don't want to do, or we don't have the energy to do, or we don't feel fulfilled, satisfied, successful, or joy in that process, that is not the way towards the desired goal or dream. Each step of the way has to be filling a cup. Each step of the way has to be rewarding and nourishing and supporting in the now, not in the... And that's not about not needing to sacrifice or not sacrificing, but it's about making sure that each move that you make is in accordance with your own energy and in alignment with what brings you joy and what brings you satisfaction. I'm literally thrilled. I have like goosebumps. He's just coming closer, but it's kind of meandering. I think this guy's my friend. Are you my friend? I don't know if it responds to whistles, but no joke, he's coming this way. Okay, so what else do we want for our Nine of Cups for this message? So this really is about, you know, coming here and doing this reading now. It is the change of the season. I don't typically do a lot or say a lot at this time. That's too many. I'm just going to wait for the next card. I don't typically talk to the past of 2025 as a year, as a process, but this is my offering to this changeover. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. He's waddling. He's so heavy. I can hear kookaburras. Kookaburras laughing. You probably can't hear them, they're probably too far away. But kookaburras signify sisters. I'm not sure, I don't know a lot about echidnas and their symbolism, so I'm looking forward to looking that up. But he is heading down the mountain. He might be going for a drink in the river. Each step of the way towards our desired outcome, and that is because what is at the end of that pot of gold, let me see if I can, I don't know if this camera's straight. I'll pause for the plane too. what we think our desired destination is not necessarily the best that it can get. There could be something for us that we haven't considered. That is why it's so important, even if you have the vision or the desired direction, that you still need to come back into the present and make each move fluid and in alignment with what it is that your body is, telling you to do. Where are you getting full cups from on the daily? Like, what is filling your cup? Okay, we can take those two. What have we got? Kind of came out in a few different. They kind of came out upside down. We'll read them as right way up. So we've got the Ace of Pentacles and we've got the Seven of Cups. So when we get the Ace of Pentacles, this is wealth, or obviously with the Pentacles, it's something that we can grow on the material realm. So it can be intelligence or intellect or learned, higher knowledge, higher awareness. It can be material gains, it can be money, it can be resources. But the Ace there is the essence is in the ether. It's right. It's not come out of the ether yet. It is, all things are possibilities with that Ace card. And the Seven of Cups, we've got these, various doorways or these various areas that we could be putting attention to, or putting our focus onto, and it can end up splitting the attention into too many different realms. And we can see the realms there through the doors. And so this is where the Seven of Cups asks us to more clearly identify, which realm is the realm that we're actually moving towards. So we can have many different ideas, and sometimes too many different ideas or too many different directions that we can take. So the Seven of Cups is asking us to identify or to refine or to be conscious of having one aim, or not having too many different aims where our energy is quite scattered. And so this Ace of Pentacles as an opportunity there, it could be potential for, several different ideas to be a potential for this Ace of Pentacles. But to have all of them at once, we're not really going to step towards any of them successfully. So we need to be a little bit clearer, or bring some clarity into that wish, into that star. So going into 2026, because that is, as I was saying, this is the energy of this reading today is a marker of leaving behind the year that we've had and entering into 2026. And we have more big energies to come. This is a time of massive shift and transformation of the human race. This is, huge levels of collective consciousness shifts, upgrades and ascension. And old systems and old worlds falling apart. And truth, secrets exposed, the corruption exposed, which the systems and bureaucracy have kept hidden and secret. All of the veil is falling, the veil is falling, the veil is down, and we're seeing it all. And it's the psyche adjusting to, it's not what I thought. This is not what I thought. And for those of us who have been in this kind of spiritual work or mystical work for quite some time, we've seen this coming and we've had the opportunity to adjust. And if you're here on this channel, then it's quite likely that you're a forward front initiate of the new way. Because that is what I am, and I feel like that's the energy of the people that I connect to, are the ones that are here for the innovation and the revolution and moving forward. What are we creating? What are we actually making in this world in the wake of the destruction, in the wake of the broken systems? I'm much less about, I've moved on from any activism kind of role. Although I'm an activist at heart, I'm not fighting old systems anymore. I'm building new dreams. Five of Cups. what is not working anymore, and what still remains in those remaining cups. So where we see things we have to do without, or we might have upset in front of us, there's actually so much more that we've gained, and so much more left. There's so much more left for us. I want to read out that Five of Cups from the booklet here, because this She-Wolf Tarot deck does have quite a few different sort of interpretations to this standard Rider-Waite. Where are the cups, 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 cups? Disillusionment, disappointment, deception, crisis. We've all been there. We thought things were going a certain way with a job, with a special someone, and then there was a thunderclap of reality, disillusionment, that stinging pain of being burned. The free fall from illusion is a disturbing way to fly, because there's no parachute when you want to take in the view a little more gently. We are rocketing down and we hit the ground. When we received this card, we were being asked to sit with those feelings. Someone, or perhaps a group of people, has just hurt us, betrayed us, deceived us into thinking a certain reality was happening when it really wasn't, and that just plain sucks. That's what it says. We shouldn't feel less about ourselves because we were duped. It is perfectly natural and human to trust others, especially when they exude convincing charisma and flowery language. The best we can do is feel the emotions that are coming up and proceed with caution in the future. Deceit is another one of the heart's many lessons, and I learn it with grace. I think that's a great message. And in the traditional deck, we are looking at spilt cups and full cups behind the back. And in this deck, we are talking a little bit about deceit. So a job, a person, something that we might have thought was going one way, and we've felt disappointed or disillusioned when we've felt that energy of the veil falling has impacted all areas of the collective, and even within our own lives it could have impacted what we have around us. So as the card said, it's easy to trust people, and it's very human to do so and natural, and that's called, you know, having an open heart. But it's important when you realize and come to clarity that you've been disillusioned, that we have a certain resolve and resilience within, not to blame ourselves, not to feel or go into victimhood or victim mentality, but to be objective and practical in it, so as not to close over the heart. But we need to realize that when things aren't what we thought they were, maybe it's disappointing because they're, you know, we had a certain expectation which wasn't true or accurate. But it didn't exist. It doesn't exist. So it doesn't even need to go into grieving, because even though at first it feels like grief, it's not true grief because it wasn't ever true. Five of Wands. So we have this is that fight or conflict energy. So there might be a fight about it. There might be I'm going to read this one out as well. There might be some conflict to come. Worry, change, disruption, illness, crisis, and this is Mercury and Taurus. When we receive this card, we're likely worried about something having to do with our health, career, or home. Essentially anything that we rely on for physical security. We may have fallen ill, become injured, or something at work is becoming imbalanced. In numerology, 5 presents to us change, chaos, and unpredictability. We may feel the need to push on despite the limitations, but we should be careful not to rally past a natural point. And the mantra is, even when the unexpected occurs, worry is a waste of my precious energy. So it does speak to coming to terms with something and moving on, because it is a waste of energy to pour into, you know, feeling duped or feeling disillusioned for too long. So that opportunity that may have been there before you came into contact with this person, or before you started this job, something that was happening before this recent situation, which now we are coming to clarity on, that Ace of Pentacles opportunity that floats in the ether is still available. So this is something that belongs to us, and it is there for us when we're ready to take it, when we're ready to hone in our vision and our direction and move towards it. With that Nine of Cups, from that place of fulfillment, when we move towards things and we enjoy what we're doing, it moves us into position to live that desired dream. Ace of Swords. So this new idea is coming. Again, it's the ace, it's the ether. So the ideas are out there. All of the information is out there, ready to be channeled, ready to collect, ready to cash in, ready to create in the material realm. So go back to something that was, I think, I don't want to say in terms of an old dream, but like a sustaining dream. That's a dream or a purpose or a wish that you've always had, that keeps coming back, that keeps floating in your mind. And it's about identifying, you might have all of these different potentials, but there will be a thing or one thing or something, a skill of yours that people are calling out, that people tell you all the time that this is a skill. Think about those things that other people recognize in you. When we're looking for, you know, jobs or work or our purpose, I can never remember this name. Is it Ikigai? Where it's that Venn diagram layover of what do I love, what am I good at, and what will people pay me for? Of all of the different trajectories, of the different realms and the doors that we can walk through with the Seven of Cups, what is the one that you love doing, you're good at, and other people will pay you for? Three of Swords. So there is a heartbreak coming there, but this heartbreak is a temporary heartbreak that is required to manifest and move towards a larger vision. So this, in the scheme of things, this heartbreak is small fry. It might feel like it's a big deal. It's not a big deal. I'm going to move on from it really quickly. And we go back to that bigger vision. What's a piece of advice for our alchemical creatives and healers? Oh, I won't take this one. Eight of Cups. And I want to read this one too. This one looks quite dark and ominous, doesn't it? Eight of Cups. Saturn in Pisces. Fleeting, momentary, searching glimpse, wishful, futility, depression. Debauchery has led us astray. The pleasure we once felt inside of the excess has now led to emptiness. We now search in vain for something to replace that feeling, and we can't find it. A sense of futility takes over and frustration, and we feel even worse than before. We know that the most productive thing to do would be to pull up our socks and get on with things, but we can't. The fleeting glimpses of joy are swallowed up by the voids and abysses of despair. We want to be helped, but our sadness is so great that we don't even know where to begin. I will let everything happen to me, and I will keep going no matter what. So how is that feeling or resonating for you? Of course, as with all readings, take what is relevant and feels true and right. If this doesn't feel like it's for you, just let it go. Don't worry about it. But there could be some depressive feeling from overdoing it, overcooking it, drinking too much, doing too many drugs, going into excess. And we can go into those excess spaces for so many different reasons. They can become habits. They can be filling voids. It can be to shake up stagnation. It can be, just because we're trying to have fun. We can be scared of boredom, scared of being with ourselves, being alone with our thoughts. And so, we turn up the volume and we move into the excess. So there can be some depression there. But we keep going no matter what. That is the only way for the alchemical creatives and healers. So I have a magpie watching me. Hi. And what sounds like another echidna. Hi. Wild. I can't see the echidna, it just sounds like it. This little magpie is quite close. Hey, what are you doing, mate? Let me see if I can show you the... Can you see him? Oh, there. That's him. He's on the ground. Hi. Oh, it's just another magpie. Hey, what are you doing? All right, so we've got the magpies. Echidnas and magpies, they're like surrounding me. They're on ones on either side. They're so beautiful. Magpies are extremely smart, very, very clever. Funny that they're just walking around on the forest floor. So let's get an advice card for our alchemical creatives and healers. What's the advice? What to do on this New Year's Eve going into 2026? Nope, that's too many. Ooh, that will do. Cosmic Union. Kind of flipped out, sort of upside down. But that was a bit vague. Cosmic Union. Beautiful. This is the advice. Otherwise known as the World card. Saturn. Completion. End, beginning of a cycle. We have reached, or soon will reach, the completion of a karmic cycle. Much has been tested and much has been learned. As we ascend to new levels of consciousness, more gifts of wisdom and understanding are accessible to us, and thus we become more unified with the cosmos. These gifts are accessible through the work because we have simplified ourselves to allow access for wisdom. Wisdom is not a complex thing. Often the simplest answer is the correct one, and we only need to quiet ourselves to know it. Wisdom is also often universal. Our notion of separateness, oh, hi. So close. Our notion of separation or otherness becomes insignificant. The lessons we have learned will provide much needed fortitude and flexibility for the next cycle, which will soon be starting, if it has not already. This is a wonderful time to rest and take in the multitudinous information we have been presented with, while also feeling accomplished and confident in our progress. As above, so below, as within, so without. So the cycle, the world, and a new beginning. Your karmic cycle is coming to an end. Whatever this job, relationship, situation that you've been in that's causing heartbreak. It's either the thing itself is either causing heartbreak, or ending it is going to be heartbreaking. But we're clearing up this disillusionment, and we're getting back to pulling in from the ethers the ideas and the material direction for that Nine of Cups energy. Now, what is the potential outcome given the current trajectory? And I would say also that the advice that I would give, oh my gosh, the Wheel of Mars Tower. This is the tower. But again, I kind of came out a bit like sideways, so I'm sort of just going to read it upways. So the outcome, things are shifting. Destruction, revolution, transmutation, inner void, breakdown, breakthrough. The Tower is the internal counterpart to the Death card. Sorry, what knots in my head? Death equals external change, and the Wheel of Mars is what occurs when something within our core is triggered, leading to a cascade, a veritable domino effect of destruction. Mars is combative by nature, and so there is an element of conflict, of resistance within the process of the Tower crumbling. As mentioned, the Tower itself represents our mounting identities and narratives about the I and what it means. So all of this leads to a rather eye-opening time of stripping away things about the I that we have felt thus far clung to. When we receive this card, likely something has occurred that has triggered the collapse of our identity, or perhaps our worldview. This can be a scary time, especially if we have issues with control. We can easily go into a crisis of identity. For a time it can seem that there is nothing to cling to, nothing makes sense. But what is afforded at the end of the process, beyond the rubble, is ourselves. A much more in tune, aligned, harmonious I, whose internal narratives are no longer muddled by the restrictions of the past. This card is asking us to face the reality and trust the process. I rise from the rubble of old identities to become who I am meant to be. Yes. Hi. Hey. Hi. I don't have any snacks. I'm sorry. No snacks. I don't have any snacks, babe. But I love you. Oops. Okay. So I will have had to edit this a little bit because there's been a lot of chopping and changing with the wildlife around me. So the Tower moment is the outcome given our current trajectory. And I think what I was going to say is about following that process of joy, following the sense of satisfaction, following recognition and success. Like, look at those human design themes. If you're across human design, feel free to... Hi. Hey. So I do human design analysis. Obviously I do tarot as well. So if you would like to contact me via my website, sunbakerstudio.com.au, you can arrange a reading with me when I can also do your human design chart and learn about how it should feel to be moving in alignment, how it should feel for you in your body to be making decisions from the body, to make decisions which lead you towards further into satisfaction or success or peace and joy. That is if you have any confusion with that. But based on this current trajectory, we're having an internal transformation. We're having a death and a rebirth. To go into this new phase of 2026, and I'm here for it. I hope this reading has been somewhat helpful for you. Please feel free to comment down below as things have resonated for you. Have a wonderful 2026. Congratulations on making it through 2025. And yeah, enjoy the serenity. Get out in nature. Take a moment to breathe. Let your nervous system relax. Feeling that peace, stability, and groundedness from within that only you can achieve through cultivation of the self. Have a many blessed day. Until next time, take care.